I was about 14, 15. I was waiting for the SEPTA bus. And if you're from Philly, you know what comes next. Hackman, taxi man, okay? Those are the guys selling their services in the sleet, in the snow, in the summer, in the heat wave. It didn't matter what the time was. They were out there competing against the other taxis. They'd be yelling out, competing with the taxis, using their own cars, of course. And I'm standing there like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. There's gotta be a neater way than doing it this way. They had, of course, no standard pricing, so they had to deal with haggling with customers. They had no regular customers, and the whole thing just really seemed inefficient. Now, around that time, Google was becoming more prominent in the phone market, specifically with Android, okay? It was becoming big, and I kept seeing talks about people using Eclipse to program Android applications. The software people use to do their thing. It looked difficult, it looked hard, but it was definitely interesting. And so, you know, it hits me later on as I'm riding on buses, as I'm thinking about my school days. I could build something for them, you know, like a real app. One that would have a way to show hotspots, standardized prices, connect riders directly to specific drivers and let them save their favorite hackmen, and maybe even help the drivers build actual businesses instead of shouting out on street corners. And, you know, that sounds all fine and dandy, but at the same time, I didn't act on it. I procrastinated. I told myself that no one wanted to take anything seriously from a kid, to pay a kid for something that big. They would be untrusting of it, right? And honestly, the truth of the matter was I was scared. I was scared that I wouldn't be able to do it successfully. I was scared that coding would be too hard and I wouldn't be able to do it, period. And I really didn't know necessarily where to start. You know, my life situation was different, right? You know, I'm a kid worrying about kid things, and just life got to me, you know? And now I look back on it, and the hesitation probably cost me billions of dollars. And the way that we know this is because back then I was imagining something that was basically Uber. And I think on that sometimes, not in necessarily a bitter way, right? But in a, dang, if I had just tried a little bit harder kind of way, you know? Because the amount of stuff I would have learned, the confidence I would have built, the money I would have made, it would have changed my life, even to this day. Now, I'm not a kid anymore, and I don't hesitate about much of anything anymore. And that's why I'm finally building my first real app and bringing it to the public. It's called FastTag, and I'm taking it seriously now. So hopefully you guys take it seriously too. You guys can see it right behind me. So if you are somebody who feels like you've missed the opportunity before, trust me, you're not alone. But you don't need to repeat it. The link is in the bio for FastTag so that you can begin growing your audience the way that you want to.